Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's episode 349. I'm your host, Perry, and with me, just like he always is, it's the whiskey mutant himself. It's Eric.
I'm sorry.
What about?
Because that clap wasn't as good. I tried to
Everybody's worried about claps these days. Just, sometimes you got to just...
We had to restart the first time I clapped.
He said that one. I love the way you clapped. It was the way that I started it. It was me. It wasn't you.
That's what they all say. Every time the breakup comes. It's me. It's not you.
Yeah, it's not you. It's me.
I see how it is. We'll see if I make it to 350.
I'm going to talk about me for a second, though.
Okay.
Because when this episode comes out...
Want to talk about me?
I got a new kid.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Very cute.
Thank you. You're saying that preemptively because when we were recording it, I do not have a new kid.
I saw her.
Huh? Okay. If you're watching the video version, I'll put a picture up of her on the screen. But
just like you.
Hopefully everything's gone well. Fingers crossed. But yeah, we are recording this in advance, a couple days early in advance. So early in advance that Eric and I are actually recording episode 350 this week too. So I got you. I'm gonna be here for 350.
Aggressive.
Well, I just last week we left it open ended as to whether or not I was gonna be on 350.
What if your kid's like, you know what? Actually, you don't. They're like, I'm coming a little early.
I mean, there's a good possibility
I know.
too.
It'd be fun.
There's always something.
Ever.
Well, I mean, we
gotcha, Dad.
We planned the C-section.
That doesn't mean
so. No, I know that's what I'm saying. Like,
Daddy, guess what?
What?
F y'all 350.
So either way, by the time you're listening to this, there's a new baby Ritter.
In
our life, and yeah, it's crazy.
New Ritter
Craziness.
in town.
So, but after 350, I will be off for probably about a month. I think is the plan. Eric is going to be in charge of the show.
Oh God!
I mean, I'll be
editing.
editing.
Say it like that.
I will be editing, but he will be in charge of hosting. For a little while. That's
goes coast to coast.
Oh man, could you imagine?
Oh man,
who's your brack?
Swan.
That tracks.
Yeah,
that fully tracks. Yeah.
Could you imagine if I sent you the stuff and you're like, all right, and you pulled it up and I have a full blown like
space
talk show desk and stuff, and I'm like, I got cards and I'm doing the whole thing.
I would love that. Actually,
I'll see what I can do.
I'd be really worried that. People would love it so much we could never go back to this format, though.
Like, what have you done?
I've got to start a new podcast. But yeah, I don't know if 350 will be out immediately after 349. It might be a week. But also, after 350 comes out, please be kind to Eric, too. I will be back as soon as possible.
You gotta be cruel to be kind.
I don't know the rest.
You know what you could do to be nice to me?
I know a thing you could do.
What?
But I'm going to let Eric tell you about it.
Go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast and support the show. For as little as $1 a month, you can just say, hey, good job, guys. But at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. You get the pregame chats. You get this episode uncut. It even comes out a little bit early if you don't want to wait. You get all the bonus episodes we do. We do Pours from the Floor where we take some bottles that I need to finish and not, my wife doesn't kick them into the garbage can.
There was still whiskey in those.
No, there was still whiskey in there.
I was thirsty.
We do Sample Irresistible where we open a sample, try it out. We do Pop Chicken Wawa like we did this week where we open a new bottle or maybe revisit a bottle that was sealed, but now we open it again. We didn't reseal it. It's the same bottle. We just have a new bottle of that bottle.
Take a breath.
Bonus stuff. Patreon, $5. Do it.
There we go. Before we go any further, though, Eric, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to the sponsor of today's episode. That is Magic Mind. And Magic Mind, as you know, is a mental performance elixir meant to help you reclaim your brain with their magic formula of real ingredients and magic properties. I have been basically for the past week drinking Magic Mind alongside my morning coffee to help me stay focused during my early mornings, rather, with my day job and my late nights editing the podcast as we get ready for our new addition to our family. And let me tell you, things have gone a lot smoother and quicker during my daily workflow. I've found that things are not quite the slog that they used to be now that I've added in Magic Mind to the mix. And Magic Mind is doctor validated after over 10 years of development and hundreds of recipe iterations and over 200 scientific studies behind every ingredient. They also donate 5 cents for each bottle sold to mental health charities that help homeless communities in the U.S. and are 100% carbon neutral. And they also ship internationally to over 65 countries. Magic Mind has helped to bring me less stress, more focus, and clarity, and they have also brought me a massive increase in steady energy throughout my day, and I want to make sure that you have the chance to try their productivity shots as well. If you head to the link in our podcast description and click that, or if you head to magicmind.com/bourbon, that's magicmind.com/bourbon, and use the code bourbon20 at checkout, that's bourbon20 at checkout, you can get 48% off your first subscription or 20% off a one-time purchase. You'll get the chance to try out their productivity shots. I want to say thank you, as always, to our wonderful sponsors, and thank you to Magic Mind for supporting Timbip. We normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind or sometimes Sips and Snacks, depending on how we're feeling, what week it might be.
I'm a little hungry.
And this week it is, in fact, Sips and Snacks. Eric's been wanting to do this pairing, he told me.
Yes.
Or a pairing of this kind for a while.
I thought of this. I put it in my pairing notebook, and I've not done it yet. But I can 100% say we've never paired cheese pizza on the show, have we?
You're correct. We have not.
Okay. Well, I've got some cheese pizza. Real cheese pizza, no like cheese pizza flavored chips or anything like that.
Yeah.
Got a little kind of a thin crust cheese pizza here from Perry's favorite pizza place that he brought back from the depths of hell.
Racism.
Yeah. He made
It's
them better.
racist pizza.
He sold it to Shaq, and here we are. Papa John's cheese pizza.
I never met the man.
Pretty much just plain cheese pizza.
I just worked for the social media side of things.
Everybody's always eating pizza, drinking bourbon, but we usually eat this after we've had too much to drink, and we're not really thinking about it, right? You can go ahead and have it. But you know what? This needs
Bourbon.
You know what else it needs?
Rye?
No. It needs meat.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It needs something with a little smoky ham in it. It needs a good Booker's. It needs a Booker's that's worth a damn.
Oh, country ham. You don't have much of this left.
Well, what better way to do it than with you and with pizza? 1903, baby. Best Booker's since forever.
We're going to have to really cleanse our palates before we do this review.
No, we'll be okay.
Ooh.
So,
Donk.
Booker's Country Ham, cheese pizza. What you know about that?
I don't know. I do know this pizza's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's fresh. I mean, like I said, I'm usually already too gone to pair pizza and bourbon.
Mm.
All right. My hope is that we get a little bit of that savory, smoky country ham in this.
Nope. I want to say something here too before we go any further.
Okay.
Friend of the show, Peggy No Stevens. Years ago, before the podcast had even started,
Okay.
put out a pairing of pizza and bourbon
Really?
that I still kind of swear by to this day. And I brought it up to her once, and she kind of was like, Oh, really? So I don't know if she still kind of abides by it or not.
That's back when Peggy was a mutant, sounds like.
Yeah.
Pairing pizza and bourbon.
Pepperoni pizza, just
Okay.
regular pepperoni pizza, and Elijah Craig small batch.
Huh.
Yeah.
Seems simple and probably good.
Yeah. It's Peggy. I mean, she knows.
Yeah. Well, she left the good pairing.
Peggy
up to me.
knows.
She said, take the pizza torch and run with it.
Hey, Booker, no.
Booker knows
Peggy,
pizza.
no. Stevens, Booker, pizza.
Papa John.
No. Stevens, pizza. We know. Let's do this. Do you want to sip first, or do you want to pour over first?
What was that?
What do you mean?
I'm Charlie in my head trying to do the thing where it's like,
I made it. I got there.
I mean, this bottle has been almost done for a while, and it's just as good as it always has been.
I'm going to go to sleep right now. Mostly because my work line keeps ringing, but also because that's some great bourbon.
All right, I'm doing 4-0.
Here we go. You're right, though. It is still a little smoky. I think it is going to pair really good.
Go. It doesn't do what I thought it was going to do, but it does better. It almost tastes like Gouda. Smoked Gouda.
Yes. And it turns it into a like a marmalade. You know? Like a sweet, instead of like marinara, it gives it like a sweet base instead. That's really different. I'm not mad about what it does to it in the slightest. I do kind of get like a savory finish with the pour over.
I don't know why. It hit me with smoked Gouda cheese.
Oh, I still get, I think that might be the savory thing that I'm kind of getting on the end.
Okay.
That's something else, man. Well done, Mutant.
Thank you.
That sounded like a Charles Xavier quote. He forgot the name of one of his students. Well done.
Well done, mutants.
Mutant.
Thanks, Professor. He's like the little turd boy. He's like, my power's turd. I thought you loved all the kids. You smell. Well done, mutant.
I do, but I grow to love all my students.
Papa? No, go, mutant.
No.
I have a name.
Logan.
Mutant, I said leave.
Logan. Logan.
Please take care of the turd boy.
Logan's like 100 miles away because that's how much he can smell him.
He's like,
can't do it.
Bub,
Can't do it, bub.
Sorry, bub. You stink. Get out. There's some mutants even the professor doesn't love.
What have you been drinking recently?
Not a lot. I did have a few pours and a beer on Saturday. I went to the Kentucky football game. Saw our buddy Mike Green there. We shared some pours. He gave me a sample, and I was like, Mike, I'm not carrying this around. I'm going to drink it right now. Of Little Book Infinity, the new one. Mm-hmm. Is that a new one? Pretty good, actually.
I've heard good things about it.
Was pretty impressed with it. That was a nice little surprise. I had a Bud Light later that night while the Kentucky Wildcats lost by 1 to Georgia.
They hung in there for a long time, though.
Our offense sucks.
I know.
Our defense was playing their asses off, and we couldn't do anything. And Stoops decided, you know what? Game's almost over. We're playing the number 1 team. We have a chance to win. I'm just going to punt this away. Let's just punt it instead of going for it. What are you doing? Cursed in the Discord. And then the next day, Had a old pepper old fashioned with April.
Well, you forgot about something.
Did I? What?
You saw somebody.
Oh, I did.
At the Cats game. Well, before the Cats game.
I saw
You just randomly, just so happened.
a legendary man named Grease.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Casey.
I did see Casey too. Apparently, Grease was there watching Georgia because he's a Georgia fan. And I kid you not, this is how it went down.
I'm so excited to hear this story.
This is how it goes down. Didn't see him tailgate, nothing like that. It's 30 minutes to game time. Me and Eli, we're walking in. We're going to go find us some snacks, get us a little bite to eat, go get to our seats. Everybody else does that too. There's usually a line. So we're in line at the Chick-fil-A stand because we're going to get some chicken sandwiches. And I don't know why. I didn't hear him, didn't hear a thing. For some reason, I just was like, what I feel like was that somebody I know? Because it's like a glance, like a corner of my eye.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and we were like getting close to the line. Eli just sees me get out of line and he's like, what the hell, Dad? What is going on? And I do that thing where you kind of just step into a crowd of people, but you step out in front of everybody and you're almost blocking the whole traffic.
Yeah.
And I just do this like stare right into Grease's soul. And like then he like turns and like our eyes lock. And it was like it was the wildest thing. And we like hugged each other. He started humping me and stuff. It was
in front of your child.
in front of my child.
Yeah.
Casey's laughing and all this stuff. But it was that random. It was just we happened to just see each other in the crowd.
Yeah.
And then he went up to my son and was like, be honest with me, kid. I was like, oh, God, here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate your dad? And I was like, come on, man. Eli gave me a 7.
Oof.
He said maybe an 8. He's a little strict or he would be a 10. So I'm a 7 out of 10 on the dad scale.
Maybe an 8.
Maybe an 8.
That's middle kid rating.
I said, could you even just lie and just say 10? No, I'm honest, Dad.
When the Grease says be honest.
I guess you be honest.
You guys, you got to be honest.
That was if you're a part of the podcasters group on Facebook, I posted that. I posted on my story. It's probably gone by now. Perry shared it on the My Bourbon Pod Instagram as well. But it was a crazy experience. We weren't, it was just.
You didn't get to drink with each other. It just kind of ran into each other.
But it was worth it all because I haven't seen Greasy in a long time. Glad to see he's doing well after all the stuff he dealt with the past year. So love you, Grease. And hopefully I see you in a different circumstance next time.
Yeah.
And you actually we get to sit down and chill and share a pour or something. So.
Yeah. After we got done recording last week, I had a little birthday party to go to.
Bunch of pies there. Bunch of potatoes and pies.
Well, it was Oktoberfest themed. It wasn't pies. It was potato salad.
It was potato pies.
Like German potato salad.
It was potato pies.
You don't know what you're talking about.
What?
You're losing it.
Potato pie.
You're losing your mind.
I'm just playing. Shepherd's pie. That's what I was thinking of. Shepherd's pie.
Okay. So I drank some beer.
Nice.
There. Lots of Oktoberfest beer. I also wound up playing bartender. So,
the song? I love that song. I'm at the bartender.
Oh, I thought you meant Bud.
Looking at me, the bar with the.
Never mind. I thought you meant by Dave Matthews Band. Anyway,
no. Shawty snapping.
I made a lot of wild rushes.
Really?
For people, yeah.
Dang.
It was a hit. Speaking of hits, I had somebody I wanted to hit that night, too.
Oh.
There was one old man I made a drink for. He got done with his drink. And then he goes, All right, bartender. I'm going to need you to make me another.
I got to hear this.
This time,
Say make it good.
make it with more vodka, less soda, and some lemon lime, and shake it up real good. I go, okay, I can take care of it for you. Like, I was trying to keep my cool and everything. Like, I wasn't trying to be
Wild Rush had vodka.
No. This was a different drink. Like, we had a pretty good stock.
So you were a legit bartender.
Like, I was taking care of people too. Now, I want to tell you something too. This was a family birthday party.
This is your family.
This is Lucy's family. Okay? Here's a couple things about this. One, okay? First of all, I had not gotten a chance to celebrate my birthday from a month ago with her family yet.
Okay.
So this was partially my birthday party. I got relegated to making cocktails.
Okay.
That's actually part 1 and 2. So I just kind of bulldozed my way through my 2 points.
And then you had to deal with this old man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Was he your family?
no. He was a boyfriend of a family friend. And by boyfriend, I mean he was in his 60s.
Ooh, one of those.
Mm-hmm. So I start gathering ingredients. Still trying to just be nice, you know? This is a family party. Like, he's seen me before. He's been around for long enough to know that I'm just, like, this is my family. You know what I mean? You're coming into my family.
You're coming into my territory.
Okay? I start pouring up the shots of vodka into the cocktail shaker. I start trying to get the lemon and lime in there too. He grabs before I can get to one of the ingredients, it himself, and starts pouring it in my cocktail shaker.
Who does that?
I go, you can go ahead and make it yourself if you want. He goes, no, you go ahead.
Oh my God.
I grab the shot glass and he goes, you don't need that.
Just dump.
I go, okay. So I start pouring the vodka right into the cocktail shaker.
Bitch.
Here's what he does. I'm going to do this for the camera. Audio listeners, what I'm doing is basically come on.
Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. But he wasn't saying that. He was just silent and doing it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then he goes, okay, stop.
Did you stop?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't going to give this old man more than he deserved.
I thought you were going to try to make him die.
No!
Oh.
So I shake this thing up for him.
Yeah.
Pour it out. I fill it right up to the top with soda, even though he was like little light on the soda. He goes, now don't get carried away now there on the soda. I go, thanks for coming to my birthday party, and give him his drink. And he goes, oh. It's the last I talked to him for the rest of the night.
What else did you put in his drink?
Nothing. I'd let somebody else take care of his drinks for the rest of the night.
Oh. I'd have mixed it up with my wiener or something.
Oh, I was not about to deal with that. I don't know if he thought I was hired. I don't know who he thought I was. But I was like,
who the guy I am?
I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Like,
old boomer, huh? Old boomer.
First and last time that I am going to be taking care of you in any capacity.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Folks, before we go any further, we want to remind you of a couple of things. First of all, we haven't talked about it in a little while, but we do have glasses that are for sale on top of our normal merch that we have for sale at bourbonshop.threadless.com, which I do all of the design work for. These glasses are actually not for sale there. They are only for sale if you DM us at My Bourbon Pod and at Whiskey Mutant. And we will hook you up with this. They are $15 a pop, plus a couple extra dollars for shipping. all you have to do, like I said, is just send us a DM. These are the Burns Dram glasses through Glencairn. We've got a couple dozen of them left, something like that. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, something like that.
3 dozen?
13.
13?
Yeah.
We got that few?
Yeah.
Oh, so a dozen.
Yeah.
Baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen.
Okay. I thought we had more than that. So
I might have gave some away. Just the people that needed them.
I mean, that's fine. Hey, people got to drink.
They might have lied to me and said they already bought them and they didn't pay me.
Cool. Anyway, hit us up. If you're watching the video version, you saw what they look like. We can send you a picture if you're curious about them. They're smaller than Glencairns. They're about the same size as a tulip glass.
They're cute.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And I've not seen anybody else with one.
We're also not really making money off of these. This is basically just to kind of recoup the losses from when we made them. But also, speaking of things that you can purchase that we're not making money off of, we haven't talked about this in a long time either, but we do have a barrel pick that is floating around out there. It is our barrel rye finished in Armagnac casks pick that we did alongside David Levine of the Whiskey Ring podcast. The link for that is in the description below. We picked this back in 2023, and there's still bottles of it left. 120.4.
Nope, 0.14.
120.14 proof. Genuinely one of my favorite picks we have ever
Really
done. I am down to less than half of a bottle of mine left. So I'm going to have to pick up another one as well. Every time that I have brought this to a tasting or a get-together, I have left with much less than I was anticipating. I would. I highly, highly recommend that you go and check that out. Once again, it's in the description below. Yeah. Go and check that out.
Get it.
We got a review.
Oh, yeah.
This week, it is the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series. There was a fly on the bottle. That was weird. The High Wheat Bourbon. 106 proof. This is 36 or 39%. 39% wheat, 56% corn, and 8% malted barley. 6 years old. I'm not sure if I said that before.
It's I've not had it.
You poured out a sample.
I poured out a sample thanks to a coworker who it was a belated birthday present for me. He knew I liked Bardstown stuff, and he just so happened to get that one because somebody was actually helpful at the liquor store we went to. I'm not going to tell you which one. Can I?
Yeah.
That's Liquor Barn.
Oh.
I feel like sometimes they are just like, oh, yeah.
It's crazy to come across a liquor barn in the wild.
In the wild. But they said, oh, we just got this in. And so he got it for me. And I wanted him to try it. So I knew that we hadn't reviewed it. And I wanted to wait until we reviewed it together. So the only thing that was out of this was about 2 ounces. Put it in a sample bottle, gave it to him. And that was about a day or two ago. So it's maybe, I guess, had a little time to air out.
A little bit of air time.
So,
yeah. $50 per bottle as well, just in line with the other Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin products as well. I got another one over here, too. The rye bourbon.
Oh.
If you want to have some of that. I also got a very old Fusion series. Too. It's Fusion number 3.
I have number 1 over there.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked for years about our love of Bardstown Bourbon Company, and it's so nice. And I know this is nothing new that we've said on the podcast before, but we, for years and years and years, were saying it's really cool to see what they're doing with their blending. It was great to see that, back in, even in the earliest iterations of Fusion, Fusion 3 had 40% of a 13-year-old Kentucky bourbon, but then 2 Bardstown Bourbon Company products that were both 3 years old. it was cool to see what they were doing with their own product back in the day.
Now,
But we were, that's what I was about to say, is like, we were always so anxious to see what they were going to do with their own distillate once it came of age.
Did you take a bite out of that?
And I don't know why it looks like there are teeth marks out of the Fusion bottle, but it definitely does look like somebody did. Wow. I'm embarrassed. Wow, it looks like there are teeth marks kind of all around it too. Look on the sides there.
Did your cat try to eat this?
I don't.
Did you do this sometime? It's you. It was you.
It doesn't really line up with my teeth marks. It might have been my cat. I don't know.
Pete?
Might have been Pete. I don't know. Anyway, let's dive into this,
All right.
shall we?
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Okay.
So that's just not a straight up gingerbread snickerdoodly cookie.
There's one more note on there. I was going to say gingerbread, but there's this boy. Is it a little jalapeno jelly?
A little bit. Little cinnamon red hot kind of deal going on too. You know what's funny is
Jalapeno jelly.
smelling it, it already is kind of sending like a spice to the back of my throat.
It's very spicy. Like, it's spicy, like in my nostrils. Like, not like hot, like, oh, my nostrils, like spice. Like,
Yeah.
like pepper, like jalapeno. Ooh.
Interesting. All right.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Me likey.
That is delicious.
How does it taste so spicy to be weeded? I'm not used to getting a spicy wheat like that. It's peppery. It's jalapeno jelly. It's jalapeno strawberry jelly. I want this with a charcuterie board.
I'm not joking.
Wow.
Damn.
This
This might beat Maker's Mark cast strength in a blind. This might beat Antique 107 in a blind.
I could see that. It's got more depth and
It absolutely does.
it's just got a difference. It's not your normal wheated bourbon. I know it's a high wheat. What's the normal?
It should be like 30-ish%.
20.
20, really?
Was the regular origin.
Should we compare them? No. Why not?
I'm just playing.
Okay.
Mine doesn't have teeth marks on it, though.
Well, this is the Fusion.
I'm just saying my bottle doesn't. I thought my cat might have tried to get into mine. Like,
Okay,
yours
well,
did.
we can't all be perfect, okay? Po Buddy's nerfect.
What? Nerfic.
Never mind. Comment down below. Did you get it?
Nerfic?
Po Buddy's nerfect.
Oh.
Okay, let's try the original origin
That smells
weeder.
freaking good, too.
It's very different, though.
Now that smells like what you would expect a wheated bourbon. That's what I'm saying. Like this other one it's not your typical wheated.
No.
That smells more along the lines of your Maker's Mark, your Weller, stuff like that.
Oh, it tastes like it, for sure.
But when you have it side by side with the new one, it's a different animal. Wow. a new one, man. It coats your mouth. Big finish for days. What's the proof on it?
106.
106. Damn. They know what they're doing.
They do.
Especially weeded stuff.
Well, I mean, you've got
all stuff, but like you can't do weeded stuff like everybody else.
You've got Steve Nally, who used to be the master distiller at Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark. Makes sense. I always forget that.
You got an incredibly dedicated team of scientists, just scientists.
Bourbon scientists.
Who are there to make, like, at what feels like an atomic level, the best bourbon they possibly can. I feel like it's almost impossible for them to fail, in some capacity. I don't think I've ever had a product for them where I've been like, this kind of misses the mark. Everything that I've tried has been exceptional.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
I agree. I think there's been finishes that just weren't for me, but I can tell that they're done the right way and they're for the right person. But when it comes to like they're just flagship bottles, I guess you would say, their stuff, no finishes, man, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And I know we're jumping the gun, but $50?
$50. Well, that's kind of the other reason where I was thinking about putting it up against Maker's Cask Strength too.
That's a steal.
Price alone, I mean, it's a direct competitor. The proof is a good competition point as well. I mean, it's not exactly
Maker's
the same,
Cask is
but
110 most of the time.
roughly,
right?
yeah. I mean, it goes anywhere from like 108 to 112. So it's kind of in that same bracket. Not exactly. But I think at 106, it seems to punch above its weight class with as much flavor as there is.
The flavor and the finish are doing the work of like making you think it's higher proof.
One of the things that I think is consistent with Bardstown Bourbon Company across the board, regardless of what their products are, whether it's finished, whether it's their core line, the Origin Series, whatever. Everything that they do seems to just push the envelope of what we seem to know is true about bourbon, right? The most case in point item that I can bring up here is the high wheat. We've always been taught that when we taste a wheated bourbon, we are not tasting with the sweetness, the wheat in there, we are tasting the absence of rye, right? So we are tasting the corn and the barley. But with this, it's a lower corn content and a lower barley content than it is with the original wheated bourbon in their Origin Series that they put out. The original has 62% corn or 60% corn and 12% malted barley.
Yeah.
68% corn and 12% malted barley.
68, 20, 12.
Yeah. And it reads just so much more like a regular wheated bourbon. But wouldn't you think that with more of a disparity between those two flavors, like with lower percentages of each, they would be much more tame? I feel like they're just punched up to 11. Maybe it's the type of grain that they use. Maybe it was the barrels that they selected, or where they aged them in the rick house. I don't know for sure, but they're pushing innovation. They're showing us that there is still something left unturned with the bourbon industry, and that to me, beyond finishing, beyond their big beautiful distillery and dining facility, which I still love. The shock and awe factor of the first time that you go to Bardstown and see their campus is incredible. But just looking at them from a purely like creative point of view, it fascinates me what they are doing, what they are able to do, and what they're going to be able to do in the future. As technology improves.
Could they
as
be
well?
The best there is.
The best there ever was.
The best there was. And the best there ever will be. They could. They could.
I don't know if I'm willing to go that far, but I am having a hard time not saying that they're the best new kid on the block. Yeah. You know? All that being said, it's a spectacular bourbon.
That is good, man. That is good. I cannot believe this reminds me more of like one of the Discovery series.
Yeah.
I would expect this to be $150. And I'm just going to be honest, like, it's a great price. It's a great price. I'm not going to harp on price. Some people want us to talk about price. Some people don't. This is good price.
Yeah.
You can't beat this for $50.
The cork on the Fusion.
Because it's bit. Somebody bit it into the bottle. Get bit.
I don't know when the last time I had Fusion 3 was. 98.9 proof. Again, the highest aged product in here is a 13-year Kentucky bourbon. 74% corn, 19% rye, and 6% malted barley. Sorry.
Can you see? Can you get it? Can you get it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a different animal.
That's wild.
Altogether.
That's a wild one.
That's nothing like the other two that we've had.
Still good.
Ooh. Oh, that finish.
Go back to the new one.
Okay.
There's so much flavor in my mouth right now.
It brought out more spice.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
Yeah, that's a good pairing.
Whew.
Pair Bardstown Bourbon Company with Bardstown Bourbon Company.
If you can find Discovery Series 3 from 2019 or 20 or whatever it was. Man. All right. Well, nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. This is our review system here on the podcast. What are you going to give the nose here?
I'm going to give the nose 3.5.
I am also going to give it a 3.5. I think it is the weakest point here.
Well, I've said time and time again that I love a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of a bottle, of a bourbon, of a pour. And in this case, baby, we going up a hill. Because if you know where I'm going with this, you know I'm going to go up a point, or a half a point, pretty much everything, all the way up to the price. Palate 4.
Palate 4. Finish.
I mean
4.5.
4.5. Price?
That's a 5.
5. 17.
Yeah.
This thing really is the most just, it gets better as you go. Every aspect of this is just better as you go. And I love that, man, because sometimes, you know, when you get that big nose and you get a little disappointed on the palate, but then you have a good finish, it's the up and down is kind of hard. You want a consistency. And this consistently just got better down to the price. This is an easy 17 out of 20. Yep. Easy.
I'm in the complete same boat. I thinking on it a little bit more, just as far as like breaking down what's going on inside of it. There, we initially were saying that there is a lot of like gingerbread happening. I think it's kind of there's a nice counterbalance with some fruit notes as well. There's not a huge oak influence in there. I don't mind that. I think that wheated bourbons at this proof point don't necessarily need a lot of oak. I think once you get to the palate is where the balance really kind of like begins to show its prominence. I think with the finish, that 4.5 is really eking close to that perfect mark. It loses a little bit of its like brightness with some of that fruitiness, a little bit of the zest that I think we were talking about earlier on. But at $50 a bottle, I mean, this is something that's going to be readily available. It's going to be something that will stand up in cocktails. It's going to be something that you can find yourself going back to regularly as a daily drinker. I think, I also think I hate that I was reading somebody talk about how dumb the conversation is around like influencers saying, this is the stag killer or stag whatever. And like, I'm guilty of that from time to time as well, even recently with Blanton's. Sorry. But anyway.
You killed it.
I didn't kill the Blantons.
Yes, you did. You forgot about it. Move on. So you're saying this is the Weller killer? I
think this might be, if you are looking for an alternative to Weller Antique 107, the best available alternative.
I mean,
truly.
I ain't gonna disagree. I think it stands out above current wheated, even the love we have for Maker's Mark cast.
Yeah,
it stands out, and it's great.
Yeah, so. It's good, man. It's good.
It's good.
Thanks to your coworker for
it's good
getting this for us.
Yeah, I know. Could have got me something stupid like Blanton's or something.
Stupid. Stupid.
I wish I had a Blanton's.
You got Blanton's over there. I'm looking at it. You got 2 unopened bottles of Blanton's.
Sorry, Blanton's. I didn't mean that.
I'm looking at it. I see Blanton's over there.
Yeah, but I can't open them. I'm not allowed to. You're not allowed to open them. Don't you know the rules of Blanton's? See what happens when you open them? They die.
How are you ever going to know if they're good or not?
You killed him.
Sorry.
What was the last thing it said before it died?
B-L-A.
But you couldn't find the S, so it was just like Blanton.
Yeah. Like the Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colonel Blanton.
Colonel Blanton himself. All right, Eric, you know what it's time for now. Our newest segment of the show, Post Review. Pour me, pour you. Hopefully the lights don't go out this time.
That's true. That's true.
Like they did on...
That's another
Are we blinding each other on this? We blinded each other. No, we didn't blind each other last time because you poured the Michter's for me. I blinded you.
Do you want to be blinded?
We don't have to. Nah, we don't have to.
Here,
Why?
I'll pour something for you.
Okay.
Since we're on Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Okay.
How about Discovery number 1?
Discovery number 1? Dang. Let's just drink this together, and then I'll pour something for us together as well.
No.
Huh?
I don't wanna.
Why do you get so mean at this point in the show? America.
I don't want to.
I do. Is that your high proof hot take? You don't like it when I pour you stuff?
High proof hot take. The Chiefs. Moving on.
End of story.
Tips and bits. Do you have a high proof hot take?
Not really. Man, look at how much the corks have changed on Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Oh, dude, that thing weighs a ton.
Does it?
Yeah.
Comparatively? Jeez. It's got some actual heft to it.
I wonder if
compared to the most recent one. Hold the one from the High Wheat.
Do you think that maybe just the Discoveries had the big one though, because it's the big boy bottle?
Maybe.
I don't have another one to know.
I don't either. I think Discovery 1 might have been the only bottle of Discovery that I ever had.
Lord, smell that.
Okay, hold on. 121.21 proof.
Discovery 1, 5% Kentucky, 13 year.
Holy Moses.
75% Kentucky, 11 year, 7 months. 10% Kentucky, 10 year. 10% Kentucky, 5 year. All rye whiskeys, rye bourbons is what I'm trying to say. No weeders in this one.
It is boozy and molassesy cornbread.
Oh. That's bread pudding right there.
Tips and bits, though. Oh, my goodness.
Hell.
We've been...
Lord, that's delicious. Tips and Bits, the segment of the show where we talk about what we've been reading, watching. Doesn't have to necessarily be bourbon related. It can be if you want it to, but usually it's not. It's just all the other stuff we do.
Listening to, playing, just enjoying.
My tips and bits, we've mentioned this all the time. I don't think we get in too much depth about it, but go to a tailgate. Like, even if you're not a big football fan, go enjoy a tailgate. Find some friends who tailgate. Go and just enjoy it. Mm-hmm. It's just some of the best company. You will never see a group of people who have so many different like tastes and like personalities and stuff all really get along. I mean, you can, if you go out and you try to like beef with like another team or something, like it could be some shit. But you go.
I've seen guys thrown through tables at tailgates.
Yeah. But go find a friend, be like, you know what? Do I care? Can I join your tailgate? Bring something. Everybody share something. I just think everybody should experience it, even if they're like anti-sports, anti-football, whatever. The tailgate, it's just fun. Everybody around is just having a good time. Yeah. And everybody's like generous. You can try so many different things and food, and especially around here, Kentucky games and stuff. Everybody's got bourbon, different stuff going on. Tips and bits. You got football going around close to you, college, NFL, whatever. Go to a tailgate.
When I was walking back from the tailgate I went to, where I saw Chris a few weeks ago, I passed by one tent, and just sitting right there, somebody had a Four Roses 135th anniversary small batch LE.
See?
And I visibly looked at the bottle, and I just happened to glance up at somebody who was in the tent, and they kind of gave me the that's right, be jealous kind of face. And I just walked away. We're not all the way through yet the newest season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh,
which we love.
Selena.
I love that show, man. Past
watched it.
Couple of seasons,
I like Selena Gomez though.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I like Benny Blanco too.
Yeah,
I like them both.
Blanco. I love Benny Blanco being just incredibly self-deprecating. He's like, I don't know how I wound up with her.
Yeah.
Why does she like me? I don't know. I did not have high hopes for this new season. They're on the fourth one. The past two have been good, not great, not nearly as good as the first one. This one is incredible. It's been the best one since the first so far. But yeah, go check it out. Yeah. Shogun also just won like
everything
14 Emmys.
Yeah.
No, 18 Emmys.
It's crazy.
They were nominated for 45.
Wildness.
Insane.
The Bear won a lot too.
It did. There was some controversy over whether The Bear is a comedy or a drama.
Depends.
And
depends on what kind of humor you have.
Yeah.
Everything's some sort of humor.
Everything can be a comedy if you try hard enough.
Yeah. You know what you should try to do?
I do.
Go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast.
It's a short episode. Wow. Sorry, I just looked at the timer.
Do I need to stop?
No, go ahead. No, it's fine.
Do you know
I'm gonna be editing this in the hospital. I mean,
you know what is comedy? Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. You know what can also be drama?
it gives us time to record this short finally too.
You know what can also be drama?
Patreon.
Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast.
That's true. Yeah, go listen to our therapy session from last week.
$1 a month. You can just
I didn't pour for you.
pour me, pour you. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. $1 a month. Support the show. $5. You get bonus stuff. You get this episode uncut. You get it early. You get all the bonus episodes like we mentioned before. Pours from the floor, simply irresistible. Pop Chicka Wah Wah. That's a gifted horse. I haven't seen that in a freaking ever.
Yeah.
But yes, well, I don't know why there was a but there. Patreon.com.
But yes,
there's more. That's the best place to support the show. You can also get apparel and merchandise. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry puts all the designs up over there. Like we mentioned before.
I do the designs.
You do the designs. We have a glass. If you want one, send us a DM. We'll get you one shipped. If you want to send an email, you can send an email to bourbonshop.threadless.com. Did I say that?
Nope, that's not right.
This is my bourbonshop@gmail.com.
Yep.
Send an email there. We have a P.O. box if you want to send us. If you want to send us samples, send us samples. There we go, Eric. P.O. box
22609 Lexington, Kentucky 40522.
There you go.
Like a robot.
We do have a text message / voicemail line. 859-428-8253. 859-428-8253.
Jeez.
Send a DM, a text, a voicemail, all the stuff. We'll read it out. You should also go to YouTube and watch this episode if you're listening. All the episodes go up there. Perry goes live every Thursday. He will be taking a break for a little while. But you can see all the past episodes and shorts and everything else we do there on YouTube. Go leave a comment, a like, subscribe to us on all the stuff. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the things you do. Leave a review. We'll read it out. It all helps. Send a letter to Mama. Tell her to listen to your boys. What was this again? Gifted Horse.
Gifted Horse from Orphan Barrel.
Ooh, I'm an orphan, kind of.
It's a blend of roughly 39% 17-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey and 61% 6-year-old or 4-year-old corn whiskey.
You know, I think the last time I had this, I didn't really understand what any of that meant. What?
Yeah. Apparently, it was an accident.
What? So was I. Perfect pour for me.
Both of my kids were.
To end the show.
Gifted Horse American Whiskey. Finest quality, 115 proof.
That's an episode. Weird. But not bad.
Not bad, just weird. Like us. See you all next time.
Until then,
the
I'm Eric.
finish is weird, but good.
Just like you. Finish is weird, but good.
And we'll see you then. But I'm Perry.
I already said I'm Eric.
Oh, yeah. And this is my Bourbon Podcast.
See ya. Weird and good.